We actually rule that area. So going back to iconoclasm, it is the deliberate destruction within a culture of the culture's own religious icons. And the word icon means image. And even the so-called white man will tell you image is everything. And other symbols or monuments used for religious or political motives. It is a frequent component.
The motive was to get rid of any trace of so-called black people in Europe, man.
That's it.
That's it. Yep. Like I have this book here. I'm going to let you keep reading, brother.
Yep.
This is called The Passion of Christ, right? Now, I'm going to show you this picture, and this is post-Renaissance. Because the Renaissance came about. Matter of fact, go to Renaissance. Click and go to Renaissance. I want to see the date. I think a key date would be 1350. Well, anyway, this right here, this icon of this image or this picture is supposed to be the Last Supper, circa 1592, which is almost a 8 years shy of the 1600s. All right, and this is when the iconoclasm was they were well into it.
Alive and kicking.
And that's supposed to be the Messiah, Christ. You can clearly see he's a cracker. The guy that's sniffing the food, that's another cracker. Okay, that's what the Renaissance is all about. Okay,
there you go. It's really white supremacy.
That's what
so-called white supremacy. You know, but the elder mentioned Renaissance. Renaissance is a French word. All right, Renaissance. All right, it says was a culture.
Born again, back, re meaning back.
Yep.
Retro back. Nissan's meaning born.
Yep.
The birth is something.
And
so why they say reborn?
Yeah, reborn of what?
Because at one time they were in power, like going back to the Roman Empire. They lost that power. Yep. Then they got to come back into power.
That's right.
All right, Renaissance.
That's right. That's right. As a matter of fact, Alexander Bourget, he took on the title of Pope Calyx, and calyx, the word calyx means holder of the cup. So why did he announce himself holder of the cup? They were now in power. And the ruling class family that came to power of the so-called white man was the Bourget family. All right. It says Renaissance was a cultural movement that spanned a period roughly from the 14th to the 17th century.
Read that again, please.
Was a cultural movement, Renaissance, that spanned the period roughly from the 14th to the 17th century.
Which is right, because the mid 1300s, all the way up into the 17th century, right?
Yeah, 17th
which is the
century.
1600s.
That's right. It says, according to this...
I'm sorry, I got another. I got it. Hey, this is from circa 1620. Supposed to be the Christ and the angel. Look what they did. Look what the devils did. And somebody get me the Apocrypha. You know what I want. Maccabees, First Maccabees 3:48.
Yeah. You know, again, that is...
that's Renaissance art, man.
That's Renaissance. Then
and
it
then
says...
somebody else get me Revelation 20.
Yeah, then it says, beginning in Italy in the late Middle Ages and later, listen to this, beginning in Italy in the late Middle Ages and later spread into the rest of Europe. Now, why did they have to have a Renaissance movement in Europe? Because you so-called blacks were ruling Europe before the so-called white man came up in there and took over. That's why they had to have a Renaissance in Europe.
That's why Balak went to Balaam to have him curse Israel, because he said the king Balak, the king of the Moabites, he basically said, man, I saw what the Israelites did to them Ammonites. The Israelites busted them up, man, and he said, look, they're gonna take everything, man. So he tried to put a curse. He tried to get Balaam to put a curse on them, and then when you read that whole story, the Most High basically slapped Balaam and like said, look, man, you better go tell this guy the truth, man. You know? And I'm going to read that scripture in Numbers 24. Anyway, if you notice, when you go to Wikipedia, you look up the word Renaissance, right? You'll see another thing that they did when they would bring back certain biblical characters, they would make them butt-ass naked, man.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Which is some faggot shit, man.
Yeah. Yeah, what the elder is referring to is, you'll see it in post-production. This is supposed to be David as you watch it now.
And I believe that actual sculpture is down there in the Met. It had to do with butt naked, man.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it says it right here. It says David by Michelangelo, which was a known faggot.
A flaming faggot.
Flaming homo. The Accademia Gallery in Florence, in Italy, city in Italy, is an example of high Renaissance art. The key word is Renaissance. And what do they have David looking like? A so-called white boy.
Butt ass naked, with a small penis.
With a 2 inch and a half penis. It's a damn insult, man.
But then these people, then these motherfuckers look up to white people, man.
Yep.
What kind of shit is that, man? Go ahead, Art.
I got something here, page 339.
See, we were supposed to end it at 4:45, but we're gonna go a little bit more, and then we're gonna bring this down to the camp, and I'm gonna have my camera, and we're gonna put some stuff together. We're gonna do some things.
Yep. This is Golden Age of the Moor, page 339, figure 3. A black Norman knight and his fair lady, the year 1504 to 1534 A.D. There is evidence of a Moorish presence in Scotland and England as early as the 10th century.
Can I say something? And that was during, and that was
there was no white people out there, but there was no black people out there.
no, that was 15. What was the date on that?
It said 1504 to 1534.
Now 1504. That was during Columbus's expeditions, man. That was after the first
Columbus and Amerigo.
Yeah, Amerigo Vespucci. That was during. That was actually during the time of Amerigo Vespucius's expedition to the Americas, man, or what they call the Americas. So even at that time, Esau, see, Jake was in power. Jake just didn't disappear overnight. Like, in other words, it took place in one day.
They act like this is reality, man. Reality, books are not just closed and that's it. All of a sudden, these people just disappeared. We don't know where they are. It takes time, my man.
Yeah.
The Renaissance, as the elder read, spanned from the 14th century to the 16th century. That's 200 years, my man.
That's right.
Oh, he saw conquering the gap.
Yeah, it took time.
Yeah, when the so-called white man, the devil, when he took this land from us, he didn't just take it in one day. It took a process of years, man. Many wars and battles were fought.
That's right.
All right, to eventually, Esau, he took over us. But it took time, man.
And what Esau used back then to take our land was called gentrification. That's right. He used it back then with us. Manifest destiny, but it was also gentrification, man, because what would they do? They would go up and deeper into the interiors and to so-called Indian lands and set up shop and build a damn village, man. Build a town right smack dab and just set up shop. Start going in, wandering into our hunting grounds.
Oh yeah, you had
like the Moors, right? The Moors,
yeah,
they were in power for like 800 years. They like I said, the last stronghold, Granada, in Spain was taken down during the time of Columbus and 1490, that era, that period, the late 1400s. Now when they went down, that was about the same time that the Byzantine Empire went down, because the Most High gave us power to rule for about 1,000 years, and then after that time, the time was up for us. Then we were brought down. Give me that Job 14, and also get me Revelation 20.
Yeah. Also two other Torah down in Africa. Them jigs, some Israelites that was they were running shit down there in Africa. They were ruling pretty much in Africa too. That's why them Hamites came and said, we're going to get these guys. Because Jake...
there was a group of traders. The name began with an M. I forget the name. It escapes my mind. I'll find it later. But they were Jakes. And they had ruled Africa for a long time.
Well, Fort Judah.
I'm talking about a group of people.
Okay.
A group of people. But that was another thing. Fort Judah. That's right. Yep. And Dahomey, I think it was called Dahomey under the King Dahomey, I believe it was. We have the documents, but we don't have them in front of us, all right? But anyway, go ahead and read that out.
This is the book of Job, chapter 14, verse 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
And that applies to Esau, which is the so-called white man. Their line goes back to Esau, the Edomites. But that also applied to us. That the Messiah said there was going to be a time where he was going to take us down. And he did take us down. So now is the time for this Edomite to go down. Okay?
Real quick to what Elder Rakas said about Jake running shit into Africa. This is Babylon to Timbuktu, page 92.
And that's by a so-called black scholar named Rudolph